Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are with Dan Bryan from Languages United in Bath. Good afternoon, Dan.
Afternoon, Jonathan. Afternoon, everyone.
Lovely to see you. So Languages United are a long-standing Quality English member. We've been proud to work with you for a number of years. So we're just having a bit of a catch-up this afternoon, find out what's going on in the school, what's going on in Bath. So how are things in Bath at the moment?
Yeah, great. 2022's off to a really good start. We're part of the British Council's Prelim 2 project. So we're partnered with a teachers association abroad in order to help improve their teachers' English language. So we're partnered with Peru.
Right, that's very exciting. So I understand.
Yeah.
Does it get drawn out of a hat, which it's random which country you're working with?
I'm not quite sure how they decide. The countries put in an application, the schools put in an application, and then they match the two together. So we're teaching 80 teachers who are across Peru, some in the jungle, some on the coast, so different locations and different types of internet connections and things like that we have to sort of allow for. And teaching them online. So we started last week that one of the groups is having their second lesson today. So yes, that's going well. We're getting great feedback both from the Teachers Association and from the teachers themselves. They've enjoyed their first week.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
Hopefully some of those Peruvian teachers will come to visit you in the school one day.
Maybe, yes. So yes, that's going on, and then we've got online lessons happening. So we've got our after-school club for juniors, which is continuing, and that's been going on for some time now. We've got individual tuition for adults online as well, and we're getting lots of interest for students coming back to Bath as well in 2022. So we're already teaching adults IELTS. We're doing some specialist courses. We've got some small teacher group coming over. And we're looking forward to the return of juniors in the summer as well.
Brilliant. So a very positive start to the year. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Just kind of thinking about recovering from COVID and returning to normal. Will it be the same normal as 3 years ago, or are there lots of precautions and procedures you're having to follow at school?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same normal. The school's been evolving and adapting to lots of new challenges, really. I mean, not just COVID measures, but responding to climate change as well.
Yeah, well, I know that's a subject that's very close to your heart as an environmentalist and very, very interested in green issues. Do you think that the climate emergency will affect the travel of students and their mobility?
I think it's going to be a consideration, and I think that students, especially younger generations, are very concerned about their future and are looking at their travel plans and thinking about those. And I think they're also looking for schools who are thinking likewise and have similar sort of values to them. So I think it will, they will be thinking about that. And as a school, we've been looking at our activities and the impact on the environment of our activities. We recently had a group from Switzerland, and they took part in a sort of project in the class to measure their carbon footprint, whether that's the flights or the airport transfer or activities that they were doing. And they added up their carbon footprint, and then we offset that carbon from their course.
That's fascinating. So what form does that take then when you quantify the carbon footprint? Does that come up with a magic sum that then needs to be offset?
Yes, tons of carbon emitted, effectively, yeah. And there are calculators online that you can use to do that. So you can put in the place you're flying from, the place you're flying to, and it will tell you how much carbon has been emitted on the flight.
For example, a student from Switzerland, then what can you do to offset their carbon footprint?
Well, we sort of support a number of projects, and we've done that. Well, we've supported projects in the UK, where UK school children are planting trees, but that tree is twinned with a tree in the Amazon. So it's actually protecting a tree in the Amazon. It's teaching school children about the environment, and it's planting trees as well. And then we've invested into a project in Kenya, where they're planting trees to increase biodiversity as well as offset, and employing people in the local community there. There's quite a lot of community projects. So there's other projects that look at stoves, so wood burning stoves, and by replacing those with much more efficient wood burning stoves, you can decrease the amount of wood that has to be used to use the stove, and they're safer. So there's a lot of social benefits as well as offsetting the carbon as well. The various projects that you can support to do that.
Right.
We've been.
The impact of what you're doing is both local here in the UK, where your school is based, but also overseas, where there are other projects going on. So rural communities overseas as well.
Yes, exactly. And we've also been, in the last year, we've developed our own environment policy, which sets out our commitments. That's accompanied by an action plan, which has targets. So our target this year, we've already gone on to 100% renewable electricity and gas. And this year we'll be offsetting 100% carbon from both staff flights and student flights.
Fantastic. So in terms of that then, in business travel, obviously something we're all much more conscious of nowadays than we used to be. As an organization, we often, at Quality English, we run missions in key markets for our schools, and we've got a couple of those coming up in March. We're going to Madrid and to Rome. Do you think this kind of subject will impact on your own travel plans? Will you be cutting down on travel? Will you be doing more events online, like we've been running the QE missions as well?
I think that if we can reduce the amount of travel, then that's better than traveling and offsetting. Yeah. So I think for in these circumstances, there's going to be a balance there, though. So I think the online missions that you've been doing are very important, and that we will continue doing those, and also in-person missions as well, and we'll offset those flights. But I think the online is going to be staying, and I think that's a good thing that we're reducing it as well.
Yeah, but it's often been described as a handshaking industry, hasn't it? It's very important to keep that connection, that face-to-face relationship building with your agent partners, and even meeting the students in their own cities as well.
Yeah, I think that's true. That's important. I think at the same time, the online has shown that it can be done a different way, and it's not exactly the same. But there are circumstances where that works, and in fact, it increases the frequency of keeping in contact with people.
Yes, totally agree. So, just going back to the green issues again, have you undertaken any other accreditations that endorse your credentials?
Yes. So Green Standard Schools. We're now an accredited member of Green Standard Schools, who have a number of different commitments that they ask you to commit to, and look at what you've done towards those commitments already. And yes, we've been accredited. So that was good. We were already doing a few things. So we've for a while now, we've had meat-free Mondays, for example, to reduce the amount of meat consumption, which has a big impact on the environment. And we've been offsetting. We've taken a number of measures around the school to reduce paper usage. So there's a lot of small things that you can do as well. Obviously, the offsetting of flights is a big thing, but there's lots of small things that you can do as well, which all help.
Yeah, well, it's you're very passionate about this subject, and it's very admirable. So congratulations on this new strategy. Just before we go, obviously, exciting year coming up. Do you have a message for your agent partners and for prospective students interested in coming to Languages United?
Well, obviously, we're looking forward to seeing everyone. We've been keeping in touch with our agent partners over the last year and two, and so we're looking forward to meeting people. We're looking forward to welcoming students back in Bath. It's a fantastic place to study.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dan, and look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Thanks, everyone.